Wow, excited to take you to the Philippines for a conversation with Malu, who is just such an accomplished doctor, but has an incredible story to tell in her book, Mama, Yes, Anuk. And wait till you hear what this story is about, because I know many of you in this audience have dealt with autism and have dealt with children with autism. And her book really lifts you up and takes you through that journey. Malu, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah.
Why did you write the book? What made you decide to write this book?
I wrote the book in 2012. At that time, Chico was 2 years old. 27 years old, I'm sorry. Was 27 years old. I remember looking at him in one fine day and thinking how far we've come. It's been a long journey, but we're here. And proud to say, Chico went through against all odds. Well, Chico was diagnosed with moderate autism when he was only 2 years old. And it was in 1988, back then, when autism was almost unheard of. Even then, it was maybe not accepted. I don't know if it was a source of shame or controversy. And, well, as such, resources were scant. Support likewise was none. So just when I thought that the diagnosis would turn our world upside down, it didn't, because this amazing young guy walked hand in hand with me in this remarkable journey. And I guess this was the inspiration. I wanted to share our journey.
And for that journey, you told me something wonderful, that you wouldn't trade what happened for anything because of the specialness of what happened and what you learned from Chica. What did you learn from Chica?
Oh, yes. Sometimes people think it's a one-way street, that I gave Chico the basic skills. I was trying to give my life to him, but it was actually a two-way street. Chico gave me more than I gave him. He gave me certain things, values that I knew I didn't have then in my younger years. Like in my younger years, of course, we all passed through this stage. You're a free spirit, fun-loving, did not have a care in the world about time. When Chico was born, he taught me how to be more focused with time. He gave me other values that I didn't have then. I started to learn the value of patience, compassion, and many other things. So it was a two-way street.
And
He made me a better person.
And in your book, you talk about all kinds of funny stories, the differences, what you learned as you were going along the way, and he was growing up and hitting different stages. And one of the things you told me, and I think people listening to this show can relate to it, that now so many different people are touched by autism, is how he handled toys and when he was given presents. Tell us that story.
Yeah. First of all, when Chico was diagnosed to have autism, the psychiatrist already warned me about him having a different world than the world we know. That's the way it goes. So I was kind of expecting a few different things, but I was not ready for the very different stuff that he did. Some were funny, some were hilarious, but some were also challenging. I was telling you about his first birthday. On his first birthday, it was, we were all excited actually, we usually are. So on his first birthday, he was just there, just just there but kind of not there, because he didn't cry, so he had no tantrums. He didn't smile either. He was just plainly there. And then when the toys were given to him, when he opened the toys, he didn't even bother looking at the toys. He was just amazed with the wrappers. He tore them carefully and then lined them up very organizedly. And I said, whoa, maybe this is like one of those things the psychiatrist was trying to tell me. And so there you go. I was fascinated though with how he dealt with many things.
Yeah. What would you tell people? And you can get the book on Amazon, by the way, Mama Yes Anik. What would you tell people who get the diagnosis of a child having autism? What would you tell them about the journey, and what advice would you give them? Which, of course, they'll read a lot of that in the book, but what would you tell them?
I just tell them that it's not the end of the world when you get that diagnosis. It's really just, I just have to tell them that the first step towards having a remarkable journey would be the acceptance. First things first, acceptance, so things can go on smoothly. Without acceptance, it's difficult to start the journey.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're in your book, and especially with the title. What does the title mean?
Yeah, in the Philippines, Mama Yes Anak is like an endearing term. In English, it means mama. I'm sure mama in English is also mama. Am I right?
Yeah.
So mama or mother, and then I answer, yes, my child. The title came from the fact that that phrase happens every day. He calls me mama and I answer, yes, anak, yes, my child. So we have that kind of endearment and rapport every day, especially when, when he wants to do something, when he wants to ask something, like he wants to take a walk or he wants to eat something, he goes mama and I say, yes, anak. So that's really the title of the book.
I love the title of the book. What do people take away from reading your book? And you've kind of weaved it in here, but what do you hope the takeaway is for someone reading it?
Okay. So first of all, let me emphasize that because here in the Philippines, they mistook the book for something like talking about autism in medical terms and some researches. But that's because they know me as a doctor. Mm-hmm. But this book does not talk about those things. This book is really like our journey, our story. I wanted just to tell people that having a child with autism is not the end of the world. You can have a very fantastic and remarkable journey. And in this book, can I say a short story about this book, about what happened? Because right after I published this book, I gave it to a friend. And this friend of mine, she doesn't have a child with autism. She just said, I'll take your book to my flight. She was reading it in the plane. And then she was first smiling, and then she was laughing, and then she was crying. And she had to stop reading the book because the woman beside her in the plane was staring at her, thinking as if she was crazy or something. And I love that review from my friend because I knew then that this book elicited a wide range of emotions, from funny, hilarious to sad. And even if you don't have a child with autism, I think it's a very inspiring book. Any book about success would be inspiring for anybody, but more so for parents or family like us having a situation similar to what I had before. I think maybe they can pick up a few things from our story, maybe base some of their decisions on our story, similar situations, and all that. So I hope this book can be an inspiration for everyone.
Yeah, I love that your friend's review really nailed it, and that's what the book is about. There's no question. Yeah, she nailed it. You're right. I'm glad you told us that story. It's very inspiring, and it's very fun read. Thanks so much for coming on.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's an honor for me to be here in your show, Kate.